Hello, it's Heather. I haven't been on here in quite a while. Today is an exciting day because I'm getting my hair done and it's like long overdue. I have a lot of split ends, as you can see, and I have a lot of gray. So I'm getting my hair done at 1:15. I'm getting ready to put my makeup on, and I thought I'd take you along this journey. What is it? GRWM, and I'll talk during it. My face looks so huge now. Whew, I've gained a lot of weight. I'm only 5'2", probably between 5'2" and 5'1", to be honest, and I weigh 160 pounds, which last summer I weighed 145 pounds. So when you put 15 extra pounds on a 5'2" frame, it ain't nothing nice. So I figured out a new way to do my makeup, and I thought I'd share. So basically, with this, it has it on the stem, so I was just trying to get some of that off before I start. But here's how I can get more coverage. So I keep putting the stem down. Okay. You put it in your hand like this, and then you take your brush and you get a lot of product on your brush. So that's where I was messing up with you trying to use a foundation brush, is that I was just putting like a little product on the end and trying to spread it around. But I learned this actually from one of the Real Housewives of Dallas. I can't remember her name, but I watched her on TikTok, and she was saying that a friend taught her this method. And I had been wanting to use one of these makeup brushes forever, because I just thought they were cool and I love to watch people use them. But I didn't understand how to get the foundation on there. And so now I do. And I got a little bit of a darker foundation because it's, coming up on summer, it's spring, and hopefully I'll be going to the tanning bed soon. But you just take it like that and you get a lot of product. And then you can just put the product like that. I like to put a little on my eyes if I can. My eyelid. I have a mirror that's, like magnified, so I can tell if I'm skipping places. But I just think too that darker foundation seems to cover better. I don't know if that's just me, but the lighter my foundation is, the less coverage I feel like I have. I feel like when it's a darker foundation, that everything gets covered more. So, big changes with me. I am going to be starting a new job. As some of you may have known, I may have shared with you in the past that I just graduated with my master's last August. I am trying to be a therapist in the state of Arkansas. And there's a lot of hoops that you have to jump through. Before you graduate, you do a practicum, and then you do an internship, which is a total of 700 hours. So you have to be supervised for those. You have your own caseload and that kind of thing. I did mine at Our House, which is a fantastic place. Then you graduate. Then you're not licensed. So you have to take a test, which is known as the National Counselor Examination, the NCE. And you have to take that and pass it. A lot of people don't pass on their first time, but I did. I passed that on February the 12th. And even though, and here's the thing, with social work, you can work right out of school. Like, you graduate and you can work as a provisional social worker. If you're going the route that I went, which is mental health counseling, I'm trying to go the LAC, LPC route. You can't work as a therapist right out of school. So I had to work as what's called a QBHP, and you make very little money, and you work as basically like a case manager. It stands for Qualified Behavioral Health Provider. And I've been doing that since August. Even though the test that you take is in Little Rock and the board is in Little Rock, it takes between 6 and 8 weeks for your scores to make it to the Arkansas board. Once your scores make it to the Arkansas board and you turn in several other things such as recommendation letters, fingerprints, transcript, things like that. Once you get all that in, and they receive your scores. Then you go before the counseling board. Your case or your file goes before the counseling board, and then they grant you a provisional LAC license, and then they tell you what you have to pay them, and then you have to find a supervisor, and you can practice. So all of those steps. So the good news is that I just got a letter yesterday, which would have been Thursday, stating that my file is going before the board on April 5th. So this is good news, great news, huge news. I thought that it might be May 3rd because the board only meets one time a month. And it was really going to be cutting it short on seeing if my test score was going to make it to the board in time for the April 5th board meeting. But I got an email yesterday stating that on next Friday, a week from today, my scores will go before the board, my file. And then they should get with me and let me know. I've already been in touch with someone that I want to supervise me, and we're supposed to meet next week. I got a much better job offer. I could have been a therapist where I was working as a QBHP, but the pay was not what I wanted it to be. And so I got a much better job offer working in day treatment. So it's a place called, well, I won't say what it's called, but anyway, I'm going to be working in day treatment. And that means like severe mental illness, people who have come out of the state hospital, and they come there every day in order to get treatment. So I'll be doing group like 3 times a week. Group is one of my favorite things to do. I prefer it to individual. Of course, I'll be doing individual sessions as well. I'll be seeing clients, and then I'll also be doing group. So those are the 2 things that I'll be doing mainly, and then other duties as assigned. I know that they have some housing for some of the people, and it might require, going over there, seeing that. I don't know what else it's going to require. But there's this clinical director over there I really like. She's the person who kind of recruited me for this position, and I'm going to be meeting with her on Monday. And we're going to talk about, starting, what's going to happen, when I'm going to start. Because as of yesterday, I don't have a job. And, I knew that this was going to happen. I actually wanted to stay at my job a little bit longer, but they were kind of like, if you're not going to be a therapist, that's what we need you to be as a therapist. And so if you're not going to do that, then you can go ahead and put your 2-week notice in. And it was amicable, and they told me that I'm rehireable, and see that gray? And absolutely, I can come back there if I want to. So everything was great. It was kind of emotional for me, just in the fact that I've been there since last August, and I've formed relationships with both my clients and with the coworkers. So last night I was pretty exhausted. I just went straight to bed. And then today I'm getting up for hair day. So that's what's going on with me as far as job opportunities go. I'm going on Monday to discuss the job opportunity and what all that entails. So I'm excited about that. I'm also nervous because anytime you go to a new job, it's nerve-wracking. This Sunday is Easter. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking to go around my family because I feel kind of like the black sheep. As I've shared before, I'm a recovering alcoholic. So for a lot of years, I was kind of an asshole. I didn't really mean to be. I wasn't like a mean drunk, but I would often be more confrontational, if there was something I didn't like, or if I felt I was being treated, everything was everybody else's fault when I was an active alcoholic. It was never my fault. It was always everyone else's fault. And I was just kind of a brat, and working a 12-step program and doing that kind of thing having a sponsor has taught me differently. It's taught me that I have a part in every situation that happens, and I can choose to hold on to it, or I can choose to work through it in therapy and let it go, and that's kind of what my life is now. I'm not as hung up on whether people like me or, whether my family thinks I'm a good person, because I know I am. I'm just like every other person. I've got good days and bad days. I've got flaws, and I've got strengths. And they both happen, you know, but I don't want to hurt people. I want to help people. My career is helping people. In AA, I try to help people. So I try to do more good. How does it go? I try to help more than harm these days. But it doesn't mean I don't make mistakes. I just don't stay stuck on them for as long and beat myself up about it, because I used to really, you know, get into a place of depression because I would just, any little move that I made that was not the right one, I would just, oh, you're such a piece of shit, and, you know, all this kind of stuff. And it's just great. I mean, you just can't get in that trap in life, because we're all going to make mistakes. Oh, God, great job, Heath. There's a mistake right there. We're all going to make mistakes, and I think forgiving yourself can go a long way. So I'm going to get my hair done, but today I just want to remind everyone that you are a person. You're a human being. You have both faults and flaws, and you also have strengths and wonderful things about you. You know, there's a book that I love that's called Everything is Horrible and Wonderful. You know, and it can be true all at the same time. There's a quote by Walt Whitman that's like, I contain multitudes, you know. I'm a full human being. And as a sober human being, I'm able to be a little bit more mindful about my choices, but I still mess up. And I think that if I wanted to say something to anybody who's watching this YouTube video today, it would be to just give yourself some grace. And I hope everyone has a good Easter weekend, and I will see you next time.